Well, the Steelers kick off their second half of the season on Sunday against the Saints at Acrisure Stadium. And under head coach Mike Tomlin, Pittsburgh is 11-4 in a game following a bye week, including 5-1 at home. For more on the matchup, it's time for your keys to the game presented by your neighborhood Ford store. Here's Bob and Coach. Guys.
Thanks, Missy, very much. It's the Steelers and the Saints at Acrisure Stadium. And before we get into that, Coach, you often talk about bye weeks. Not only do you stuff with your family, but you take a time to look around the league. Last year was a lot of quarterback mobility. That struck you as a trend. Any other trends popping up right now for you?
It's interesting you say that because oftentimes one trend is born to counteract or to combat another trend. And we were talking about quarterback mobility and design quarterback run game a year ago, particularly situationally, possession downs, red zone, and things of that nature. People's willingness to use quarterback athleticism in an effort to extend drives or pursue points. And really this year it's obvious that you see from a defensive perspective the appropriate response to that. You're seeing defenses taking more calculated risk in those circumstances, being willing to go zero, taking the free safety out of the middle of the field and going all out blitz on possession downs and in the red zone. And to be quite honest with you, it's probably a direct result of quarterback mobility and the offense's willingness to use all 11 to engage, and now the defense, is willing to use all 11 to engage. And boy, it's really trending in that direction from a global perspective. And to be honest, I'm not really surprised by it. It's probably the appropriate response to combat offense's willingness to utilize the quarterback in that way.
All right, the key offensively for you tomorrow is what?
To start fast. We can't warm up to it. We can't waste possessions, and particularly possession downs, getting a sense of the in-stadium flow or getting acclimated to New Orleans and their attack, or us just being back in the action. I just think how we start, the speed in which we start, we can't warm up to it because all the possessions are going to be really important.
You'll be looking to increase pressure in the backfield. You got a quarterback who's not necessarily as mobile as some of these young guys. Is that an asset for you if you go after him?
I think really it has a lot to do with Taysom Hill and how much they plan on utilizing him and our ability to minimize him, because what he does is absorb offensive snaps. And so if you minimize his impact on the game or their ability to utilize him, then that gives you more exposure to the traditional quarterback and more opportunities to rush in a traditional sense. And so, his success and usage is a big component of some of those other discussions, particularly if you're talking about getting after the quarterback in a traditional way.
Demonte Casey, we talked about him earlier. What kind of versatility does he give you, and how does that affect schematically what you do?
Well, guys like Taysom Hill, they get in these multiple tight end sets, and oftentimes he could play quarterback, he could play tight end. They can attack you vertically, they can attack you on the perimeter. It creates a real good opportunity for three safety defenses to have those 205 to 210 pound guys that can run, that can play in space, that can blitz, that can tackle. And so there's a nice space for a guy like him, a big nickel package or a three safety package. We explored it some in team development, and in a week like this is a prime opportunity for a guy like him to have an impact.
Coach, thanks very much. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right.